Hello, welcome to Reflections for Life. My name is Joval, and over the years I've written articles and reflections on faith, life, love, health, science, engineering, music, and stories of success. This podcast is my space to explore ideas, share insights, and reflect on the things that shape our lives. My mission is simple: to spark curiosity, inspire growth, and remind us all of the beauty, challenges, and opportunities in the world around us. I'm thrilled to start this journey with you. Let's explore, reflect, and grow together. Episode 1: Freedom within God's boundaries. This is episode 1 of our journey together, and we are starting with powerful truth. Freedom within God's boundaries. Freedom is one of God's greatest gifts. From the very beginning, in the Garden of Eden, God gave Adam and Eve the ability to choose. Genesis 2:16 and 17 tells us, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. For when you eat from it, you will certainly die." This reminds us that freedom is never without boundaries. God's boundaries are not to restrict us, but to protect us. The nature of true freedom. So, what is true freedom? Is it doing whatever we want? No. Jesus answered this clearly in John 8:32. "When you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Real freedom is not found in living without limits. It's found in living within God's truth. When we step outside His guidance, sin enslaves us again. But when we walk with Him, our freedom leads to peace and purpose. The consequences of wrong choices. Every choice we make is like planting a seed. Paul warns us in Galatians 6:7. "Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows." Maybe you have made choices in life that felt small at the time, but later grow into bigger consequences. Wrong choices can seem harmless, but they bear fruit, sometimes bitter fruit. Jesus illustrated this in the parable of the weeds and the wheat in Matthew 13. The weeds represent those who reject God's ways, while the wheat represents those who follow Him. In the end, there will be a separation, an eternal harvest. Our responsibility as believers but God doesn't leave us without help. As believers, we are called to guide one another. Paul said in 2 Timothy 4:2. Preach the word. Be prepared in season and out of season. Correct, rebuke, and encourage with great patience and careful instruction. That means our lives themselves are testimonies. The way we live, the choices we make, and the love we show, all of this can point others to God's truth. The boundary of freedom. Think of freedom like a river. A river flows powerfully within its banks. But if it overflows without boundaries, it floods and destroys. In the same way, freedom outside of God's design turns into rebellion. But freedom within His will brings joy, peace, and eternal life. The final judgment. And the Bible is clear. There will be a final reckoning. Matthew 13:41-43 says, the Son of Man will send out His angels, and they will weed out of His kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. Then the righteous will shine like sun in the kingdom of their Father. Our choices today carry eternal weight. Reflection questions. So here's my question for you to reflect on. How does your life reflect the balance between God's gift of freedom and the boundaries He has set? And how have your choices shaped your walk with Him? Think about that this week. Journal it, pray about it, or even share it with a friend. In closing, freedom is a gift, but it is not without boundaries. God allows us to choose, but every choice has consequences. Wrong choices lead to separation, while right choices lead to life eternal. As you go about your week, I encourage you to choose wisely, to live within God's truth, and to let your life be testimony of His freedom. Thank you for joining me today on Reflection for Life. And I look forward to being with you in the next episode. Until then, may God's peace and wisdom guide your every choice.